Okay, so I already peeled some coconut here, but I just said let me show you guys how to do the coconut. So usually I put the coconut in the freezer just for a little bit, and it kind of expands and make the cracks already, and just to hit the coconut with the hammer and it breaks apart, right? So now all I do is where there's like points sticking out, I just stick a butter knife in those points and just rock the knife back and forth, moving along the edges, so it releases like this. I'm going to do it around another point, just rock it back and forth. The other edge, rock it back and forth. Sometimes you can go, sometimes you can't. Means you have to get to another edge again. And this is just to be able to release the coconut from the shell itself. And you will be able to hear when it's actually releasing, because when you be able to, you kind of give it a push up, and when you push up, you see that? You're able to see it's releasing from the knot, and you just continue with the butter knife. I'm not using a sharp knife because I don't want to cut myself. That's the way my dad taught me, and it's just that easy. The nut is here and the meat is right here. Yeah. And all you have to do now is peel. Sometimes I peel it, sometimes I don't, but for this recipe I peel it. For the regular traditional coconut bake, I don't bother to peel it, right? So here I am able to peel, just use a regular peeler and just take that brown skin off. Okay, it's like peeling a potato, literally. So you have all this white meat, and the skin, you don't have to take it off, but the skin is a lot of fiber and a lot of people don't like it. Like my daughter, she always asks, you put pepper in any food? You put pepper in the food because it looks like little, pepper specks or whatever in the food, because they don't know what it is, right? So this is the end result. You just rinse out the coconut and then cut it up in cubes. Okay, now I'm just gonna take the coconut, put it in the blender, add some, this is just about a cup of evaporated milk. I usually don't use any evaporated milk. I use powder milk, like about 2 tablespoons of powder milk, and then I blend the coconut with water. But I'm cutting back on using my powder milk because it's very expensive for a can over here. So I'm using the evaporated milk, and I'm just gonna blend this now. And make sure you have a good blender, because these things is very foxy and hard, so it tends to weigh out the motu. Okay, so this here is your coconut with the evaporated milk blended. See, it's nice, and so you see it's nice. The coconut is really finely grated, so that's exactly what you want. So now my method of doing this is that I try to do like a wet dry mixture. So I'm going to show you all how I do it in my stand mixer now. Come on, Sam.
I got you.
And put this so you can see everything. So I'm just gonna add all the coconut. I don't want any extra water in it, so that's it, because I'm not gonna add any extra water to the recipe. I have the sweet potato. As I said, the sweet potato is boiled, and this is not a traditional part of the recipe. So if you don't want sweet potato in your coconut bake, you just eliminate the idea of putting sweet potato. But as I said, this is fall, so I'm just doing this recipe for fall. I'm adding my sugar, which is 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then my butter. My butter is a soy milk butter, and it's already softened up. I'm just going to add this in there, and I'm going to let this whip and blend together for a little bit before I add the rest of the ingredients. Now, one thing I didn't say is that my flour is a self-rising flour. I didn't intend to buy self-rising flour. Usually I buy all-purpose flour, but that's all the grocery had at the point in time. You know, it's Thanksgiving, it's baking time, you know, everybody's using a lot of flour, so they ran out, and I needed my flour. Alright, so just attaching my paddle attachment here to the stand mixer. Lift that, put it on medium speed, and just mix everything together until the butter becomes a little bit more fluffy and incorporated into the mixture. You could do this by hand, but I tend to not want to get my hands dirty with coconuts and, you know, butter and, you know, lazy people thing. But you know, but you could do it by hand if you have yeah, if you don't have a stand mixer, KitchenAid, anything like that. So you could do it by hand, or if you have, like, you know, them regular hand mixers, you could use a hand mixer and quickly get through it, and you know, that's bygone bygone. As I said, with the self-rising flour, right? With the self-rising flour, it already has the baking powder in it, so I don't have to add any baking powder to this flour. But if you want self-rising flour, or the recipe to the same thing as it using the baking powder, what you're gonna need is put 1 teaspoon of baking powder to 1 cup of flour. That's roughly what it is. So I have 4 cups of flour here, so this is roughly 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So you can work with that rule if you're like a bachelor or anything like that, and you know, you just want to make a small bake for yourself, or you know, you and somebody else, right? So use that rule and you'll be safe to go. And here I'm just gonna add the salt. It's just a teaspoon of salt into the ingredients. Mix it up just a little bit so that every like piece of flour, or most of it, is gonna have that nice flavor. And salt, you don't have to add the salt, but the salt is for enhancing the flavor of the dough. And the brown sugar is to just give that extra sweetness. The coconut already has sweetness, but you add that extra sweetness and also a color for when it's baking. Right? So here you see the batter is actually getting a little more light and fluffy, and that's exactly how I want it to look before I just add the flour into it. So I'm going to be gradually adding flour into the mixture. as I say all the time, flour is a very funny thing. Based on the temperature, whether it's cold or it's hot, you tend to have a need for more or less water. So use your discretion wisely and just pay attention to your flour. So you can see here it's still sticky, so I know that I need flour. I haven't used all the flour as yet, so don't get worried. It's not the 4 cups in there as yet. But as I say, I'm adding the flour gradually. And I don't want the flour to be too, the bake to be too cakey like. So that's the reason why I'm adding like 4 cups of flour. If you want it to be more of a cake finish texture, then you could leave it to be like about two cups of flour for the mousse. But I want it to be that thick bread texture and very heavy. Alright, so you can hear my stand mixer is actually under pressure right now. So what I'm gonna do is actually remove it from the paddle hook and from everything. And finish mixing the rest by hand.
Oh, I thought you're done.
Alright, so this is the bake after it has come out from the stand mixer, and I just added a little bit of flour, the remainder flour to it. Alright, and this is what it should come out looking like. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it, let it sit for a few minutes. It don't have yeast in it, so you don't have to leave it, let it sit, but I just let it sit under a little cling wrap for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and roll it out and make some small bakes, because what I'm going to do is make some small round bakes and then bake it like that instead of doing one big bake. But if you want to have a big bake, you could just leave it like this and bake it as whole as this. Okay? Shadi Daddy is
Who you are?
okay, so after it rested, I'm rolling it out now, and I'm just rolling it to be like about a 1/2 inch thick. As you can see, it's just about a 1/2 inch thick all around, and from that I'm going to just cut it into like biscuit shapes. I don't have a cutter. I have a cutter, but it's not round. I have Christmas cutters. So what if you're like me and you don't have a cutter? I use a regular glass, okay? And I just take the glass and I press into the dough, and I get this little baked biscuit, whatever you want to call it, right? But remember, it's coconut bake. And I'm just gonna do that.
Coconut biscuit.
Yeah, Cedric say coconut biscuit. So I'm gonna do that all around. Alright? This is also a good way is if you're having a, like, you know, right now it's Thanksgiving, you're having Thanksgiving parties and you want to know, you know, what dish I could bring. You know, this is a nice little simple dish. You could probably just bring. And as I say, it don't have to be the traditional big shape bakes. You can do it just like this, and you have some nice mini bakes. Everybody get one each, right? Everybody gonna get nice one each, and that's about it. Okay, so this is the entire pan of the coconut sweet potato bake before it's baked in the oven. This is the mini ones, and then this here is just the regular one. All right, so if you wish and you want to have it bigger, as I said, this is it bigger. You still do the same process of, you know, sticking the fork into the dough to bake it. All right, and then I turn the oven on 350 degrees preheated, and it's just to stick it in the oven for like about 20 minutes and you're all done. So I'll see you guys back in 20 minutes with the finished product. Okay guys, so this is the finished product of the mini coconut bake with the sweet potato in it. All right, and all I've done is just buttered it, and you can see here how soft it is. Okay guys, and its thickness. So as I said, this is just like if you're having like you want to carry a dish over to a Thanksgiving event, and you have little mini coconut bakes as a side to whatever you're having on your plate, right? So this is just a nice option for Thanksgiving, and simple to eat this is to just add a little bit of cheese, or you have saltfish, you make some saltfish. That's usually the traditional way. You saltfish, or you do a nice piece of cheese while it's hot, put that nice sliced cheese inside of there, and it's just gonna melt and be like so heavenly. All right. So guys, once again, thank you for taking the time out to view these videos and liking them and sharing them. I'm seeing all good things, and I'm seeing more people subscribing every day, so I'm really grateful. So thank you guys, and I hope that by next year we should be hitting more than 100 subscribers. Okay, so I'm counting on you, and I know you're counting on me for dishes, and Christmas is coming, so you all stay tuned for the Thanksgiving meals and Christmas meals all happening. It may have more than one video for this month, maybe like about every 2 or 3 days. How fast I can upload, I'll do videos. Okay, so take care, enjoy your sandwich. All I did was cut the round bigger coconut bake in 4/4, and I had some chicken from before, some fried chicken, and I just added some nice iceberg lettuce and some mayo to the top of the bread, and that's it, right? And see, I have a beautiful sandwich coming out of here. All right, so thanks again for watching, and if you like this recipe and you tried it after this and you try it and you really enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. Okay, thanks, bye.